Every morning is an opportunity to connect with Jesus. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow more, DDPC is for you. Join us as we connect with Jesus together.
And good morning and welcome to another episode of Daily Devotion with Pastor Chris. I, of course, am Pastor Chris, your host, and I am glad to be with you today. It is the beginning of a brand new week. We are starting off this week just with a heart full. Man, we had a great day in the house of the Lord yesterday, and just looking forward to what God has for us in this week. And I'm really excited as we are moving ever closer to our missions weekend with our ministry fair on Saturday and the one big mission service on Sunday morning, and then of course the to top it all off with that amazing missions banquet. If you have not gotten signed up yet, get signed up. It will. It's not a sellout because it doesn't cost anything, but there's limited seating. We can only fit 200 people, so I think 220 is our max, and so and we're already well over halfway with reservations. So please get connected. I was not connected. Get registered. Been a long day already. So anyway, guys, listen, welcome. Thank you for joining us onto episode number 1258. This is September 15th. And yeah, so we are really excited. Now we're in the book of Acts. Acts chapter 26 is where we were at last week. We didn't get to finish out the last few verses, and so I want to finish that out today before we go to Acts chapter 27. So if you remember, Paul has been speaking, and he gives us testimony before kings, before King Agrippa, and he says, "I consider it fortunate that I can stand before you today." And then he really he said, "Look, I'm sending you." Acts chapter 26, verse 17. He said, "I'm sending you to them." This is the commission that Jesus gave to Paul, sending you to them to open their eyes and turn their from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God. And Agrippa was like, "You really think you're going to persuade me, just by a few words? And in this short time, you can persuade me to become a Christian?" And Paul's like, "Listen, all I'm doing is following what I'm supposed to do. I'm just fulfilling my calling." And so in the last, he explains his whole situation to them, or to the king. And then in Acts chapter 26, verse 30, it says this. It says, "Then the king arose, and the governor and Bernice, and those who were sitting with them. And when they withdrawn, they said to one another, 'This man,'" talking about Paul, "is doing nothing deserving of death or imprisonment." And Agrippa said to Festus, "This man could have been set free if he had not appealed to Caesar." And so, oh man, you're just kind of like, wow, this man could have been set free to not appeal to Caesar. And so what he's saying is that Paul could have chosen comfort, but instead he followed his calling. He even if it meant being in chains and ultimately beheading, his boldness opened up the door for the gospel to reach Rome all the way to the highest levels. And I want to tell you that the culture that we live in today, we value safety. Now, listen, I'm not saying we need to be reckless. I'm not saying we need to live on the edge. But we do value safety, and we really value convenience. And we avoid conflict. That's part of our culture. But if I'm being honest, sometimes following Christ means you're going to have to step into difficulty because God has a bigger purpose. And man, there is no better modern example, current example than what happened last week with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I mean, this man literally went into some of the most contentious and hostile places in America, the university campus, the secular university campus. And he would declare truth, not aggressively. He wasn't hateful. He wasn't divisive. I mean, the messaging was divisive, but his delivery was not. He would ask people who were opposed to him to simply explain their side. He would give them a platform to make their case, and then he would support his side, and he would hope to lead them down and make a now well-informed decision for themselves, not a decision that's been manipulated by the university system or by the political slant that is controlling that university, or what they're being fed in social media culture, but an informed decision based off of all the options, both sides of the argument. And he was known as a happy warrior, a happy debater. He was kind-hearted, and yet still went against what some people believe to be true. And because he went against culture, even though he was kind about it, it cost him his life. Now, it would have been way easier, like Paul, it would have been way easier for Charlie Kirk to pander to his base, to write books and movies and documentaries, and to go to conferences and get paid to speak at large venues and make lots and lots and lots of money. He would have been wildly famous and had layers of insulated protection with literally no fear of his life. But that was not his calling. He literally was called to go into the lion's den day after day after day. And that's what Paul was called to do. That's why he appealed to Caesar, because he needed to get the message to Rome. Missionaries are like this. We're having our missions convention. Some of our missionaries choose to live in really dangerous areas, and they often give up the quote easy life. The creature comforts that you and I enjoy all the time are the exception to the rule for them. But because of their obedience, they've had entire communities that have come to know Jesus as their Lord and Savior. So I guess the takeaway from Acts chapter 26 is that bold faith may look costly, but it carries with it an eternal impact. So don't fear chains, because God can use the chains to unlock doors you never thought imaginable. And that's what Paul. This is what I'm saying. This chapter is so dynamic. You've got Festus and Felix, and you've got King Agrippa, and you've got Caesar coming, and you've got, like, there's all this drama, and in the end, Jesus is glorified, and that's all Paul really wanted anyway. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope that challenges your faith. And I really do pray that you have an amazing, amazing day today. So God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us on DDPC. And tune in tomorrow, because I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.